Good morning, everybody. I hope you woke up to that beautiful sunshine that's happening outside and a little better than waking up to all that snow yesterday. So we were in one of the deepest hit areas. We had 12.5 inches of snow here in the Merrill area. And when all that snow, it kind of put me into a little bit of a funk. And I was actually going to do this yoga strength class yesterday, but I just didn't have it in me. So make sure you're kind to yourself and don't push yourself into doing things if you're really not ready or in the mood. So speaking about that, being in a funk and emotions and feelings, I feel like I have had an ocean of emotions every single day. So, feelings from being sad to being angry to being lonely, anxious, depressed, and sometimes one hour I'm one way and the next hour I'm another, and sometimes it's even moment to moment. And it feels like those feelings are just bouncing off the walls. And I just want to let you know that that's okay. That's actually normal for us to be going through that ocean of emotions right now. So just allow those emotions to happen, accept them, but then do your best to avoid getting stuck in any of them. So, and also don't judge yourself, because most of those emotions that I just listed off are fear-based. And fear has a hard time living in the present moment. So when you think about those emotions, most of them are based on things that you're thinking might happen in the future. So you're pre-worrying, you're having fear that something is going to happen in the future. So instead, if we come back to our time-old practice of being present, practicing living in the here and now, just like Ram Dass said, be here now, we're going to better be able to, I think, deal with this ocean of emotions. So grounding yourself, centering yourself, coming back to the present moment and what is happening in your life, in your home right now. And, I don't know what everyone's circumstances are, but I still think that if we can try and stay grounded and try and stay in the present, we're all going to be feeling a lot stronger, a lot safer, a lot more hopeful. So our practice today is yoga strength, and that definitely will help us feel more grounded. And it might be also a way to kind of let go of some of those emotions, because we're going to be working our muscles and moving around. So I think that we'll just try and stay present in our workout and see if we can have a little bit of fun. And that's all. All right. So I am going to travel back to my mat. And we are going to start with a warm-up. So let's just stand in our mountain pose, and we'll feel our feet kind of grounding us to the earth. You can spread your toes. Maybe just close your eyes here in this mountain pose and start to take some nice deep breaths, rooting deeply into the earth below, grounding, finding your center, finding the light that shines within you, letting it radiate in your being. And then we'll get moving with some breath. So let's inhale, upward arms and hands out on the sides, but then as you exhale, let's cross over those arms in the front. And then again, inhale up, smile. Exhale, cross down, big deep breath. Inhale and exhale, stay here. We're going to reverse it now. So we'll inhale, cross in the front. Exhale, float down on the sides. Again, inhale, cross it up and over. Exhale, let it release. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Let's take the feet and legs and walk them a little bit further apart now. And we're going to get into a little bit of twisting. So just letting your body rotate from side to side. As you rotate one way, you can let that opposite heel maybe lift up a little. So you're keeping your knees nice and soft and just enjoying this flowing, twisting movement. All right, let's land it, but keep the feet and legs a little bit apart. We'll get into some lateral stretching. We'll start with the right arm. So we'll inhale up toward the sky. We'll exhale as we start to bring it over. We'll inhale back up toward the sky, and then we'll exhale, letting it float down. Left arms turn. Inhale up toward the sky. Exhale, coming over. Inhale back up toward the sky. And exhale. Let's go back to the right. Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, coming over. Inhale, back to the top. And exhale. One more, left arm. Inhale up. Exhale across. Inhale, back up. And exhale, release. And then walking it together. Let's warm up the quads a little bit. Here comes our chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale, chair. Exhale, ground through the feet and legs. Inhale, another chair. Exhale, rising to mountain. Inhale, chair. And exhale, release. All right. So you're at the top of your mat. You're still in your mountain pose. Inhale, upward arms and hands. And exhale, coming into a forward bend. Now, if you're not quite ready for a full forward bend, you can always be at that halfway point. That's great too. From wherever you're at, let's inhale up to make it a half forward fold, nice long spine. And then exhale back down toward a full fold. Knees are soft, a little bit bent, hinging from those hips. From Uttanasana, we're going to take it to table. So just stepping one leg back at a time. Finding that solid neutral position, and we'll do a little cow-cat. So on the inhale, we're letting the belly release toward the earth, lifting the tail and the heart. And on the exhale, we'll draw that belly up to the sky. Now we're tucking the tail and the head. Inhale, let's go ahead, come on back into the cow. And exhale, round and tuck. Go ahead, let your breath guide you. Do a few more of these flowing cow-cats. And then eventually coming back to your table and sitting back, pose of the child balasana, bowing to the earth. Again, feeling that sense of being grounded, safe. And then inhale, we're back at the table. Let's tuck the toes and come into our first downward facing dog. Now you might want to alternate pressing one heel and lifting the other. Just walking your dog. Your head is between your two arms. Abdominals tucked in. Nice. Now let's walk our feet up to the hands. We're coming back to a forward fold position again. And then we'll root through our feet and legs as we inhale, rise up, reach for the sky. And let's exhale and land at our heart. Take a breath here. Inhale, upward arms. Exhale, let's come back into forward bend. On an in-breath, rise to the half forward bend. And exhale, back down. Let's take our right leg, step it back, finding a lunge, and start by just bringing that knee down to the mat. Then, if you like, on an in-breath, lift the knee and maybe start to straighten the front leg a little bit, almost like you're coming into a pyramid. And then exhale, come back down into the lunge. Just do the best you can. Inhale, lift the knee. And again, if you want to work towards straightening the front leg a bit, go ahead. Exhale, come back down. Let's do one more on this side. Inhale, lift. And exhale, land. From here, we'll take it to plank. You want to keep your knees lifted or grounded. And then slowly lower to the earth, trying to let the chest land before the belly. And then inhaling, coming up through your cobra. On the exhale, we'll press back through table and into our downward dog again. If you're still warming up your dog, go ahead, pedal those feet. Sometimes it's nice to kind of bend both knees toward the mat and then both heels back. A little bit of crouching tiger. Now we're going to be returning to a lunge, but we're going to take the other side. So you can either come to your table pose and bring your right leg through, or you can just step that right leg up and through. We're going to land the back knee, and we'll do the same practice as we did on side one. So you can either inhale and just lift the back knee, or you can inhale, lift, and kind of straighten the front. Let's exhale back down. Inhale, lift the knee. Exhale. Inhale, one more. And exhale. Let's step back for another plank. So we're warming things up. Come to knees if you desire. Exhale, release. The in-breath opens you into your cobra. And the out-breath takes us back into that down dog again. So go ahead, take a couple breaths here in your down dog. Nice deep breaths. And go ahead, walk it back up into that forward bend. Take a couple breaths there. Hi, Mary, Kathy, Sharon, Nancy, Kathy, Renee, Julie. Thanks for being here. Ground through the feet and then on an in-breath, let's rise up, reach up, and exhale. Land at your heart. Go ahead, take another good breath. All right, we're going to start the strength practice now, and we're going to kick it off with a lateral lunge with a rotation. We've done this one before if you've been in my classes. You can use weights if you like. Remember, we do everything 3 times. So on this first set, it's kind of the warm-up set. Maybe you don't want to use weights, but then on the second and third, maybe you'll try it. So I'll give you a demo so you know what's coming, and then you can get ready. So the legs are going to be wide, and the feet are going to be slightly turned out. We're going to have the arms out to the sides. And as I bend my right knee, I rotate that direction. And notice my hands kind of coming down to the earth. I'm rotating so I'm kind of looking up and over. Then I come back to the center point and I just switch sides and go the other way. So if you'd like to add some light hand weights, go ahead. I'm going to wait till the second set. And we're going to move with the breath. So here we are. We're going to exhale, rotate, look back. Inhale, land back at center. Exhale, bend the knee, rotate. Inhale, land. Keep this going. The exhale is always the rotation, and the inhale is coming back to the center. You got this. I like doing this one in the beginning of a strength workout because it's kind of a nice warm-up too. You don't have to move the exact same speed as I'm moving. We're going to do 4 more, so we're doing a total of 8 of these on each side. As long as you're moving, whatever you're doing is great. Last one. And land. Close it up and close it up. All right, nice job. Next, what we'll do alternating with that one is side plank with a crunch. So to set up for that, you'll start in your table, and then we'll extend one leg back. I don't know what side you're on, so I'm taking my right back. And I'm basically setting up a modified balancing side plank, right? You all know this pose. Now, if I was in a full side plank, I'd have this leg out too. But I'm going to stay here just because my shoulders are a little happier when I'm here. And what this side crunch is going to be is we're going to take the arm over and across because we're going to be doing a nice lateral movement here. We're going to bring the elbow and the knee toward each other. So this is our side crunch right here. And then we're going to reach it back out. So on the out breath, we're here. And on the in-breath, we're here. So join me when you're ready. And this is also one that if we wanted to have a weight in that arm, hand that's moving, we could. So again, we're breathing out and breathing in. Out and in. We're almost there, I know. We've got 1 to go. Awesome. Guess what? We have to do the other side. So you're starting in your table. You're extending that opposite leg back. Your wrist is right under your shoulder. And then that back foot is kind of turned so it's going the same direction as the short edge of your mat. And then the arms coming up and over. So again, if you were a real trooper, you could try and do this one like that, but its balance can be a little tricky. So I'm going to stay in the modified version of it. Here we go. Breathe out with the side crunch. Breathe in with the extension. Exhale and inhale. Good. Just keep this going. So you could also let your foot tap down each time if that felt better for you. We've got 2 left. And then how about we take just a quick little respite in child pose, and then we'll start our second set. All right, respite's over. I told you it would be quick. So we're coming back up for the lateral lunge with the rotation, and I am going to add some weights to mine this time. So the feet and legs are apart. And if you're wondering how far, when I bring my arms out, my wrists are just about over my ankles, so that's kind of a good estimate. So here we go. We're going to rotate to the right, look back, inhale, come on up. Exhale, take it the other direction. Inhale, come up. Keep this going. Let your breath guide you. So I'm using 3-pounders right now, and they actually feel a little bit heavy when I'm coming up to the middle T right here. So be cognizant of that, and if something isn't just right for you, then just set the weights down. Okay, so like normal, I lost count, but those of you that know me know that I do that all the time. But I think I'll be pretty close if we do 4 more. Last 2. And I hope you're all smiling as you lower the weights. Walk it together. And get ready for your second set of the balancing plank with the side crunch. So we're in table. We extend a leg back. We anchor through that foot. So get your foundation set up nice and solid. Bring the arm over in your lateral position. And here we go. Let's crunch it and reach it out. Exhale and inhale. Whew, we got this. We're going to do 2 more. All right, let's finish this first side. And then go ahead, set up the foundation for the second side. So if anything is ever hard on your knees, feel free to grab a blanket to kind of prop under your knee. I'm on a hardwood floor, so it is a little bit hard, but it's not too bad. So here we are. We're going to crunch it in and reach it out. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and in. We're halfway right here. We're going to do 4 more. 2 to go. And last one. Awesome. If you like one of those real brief child poses, and then bringing that all the way up. We've got 1 more set of our lateral lunge with the rotation. Y'all ready for this? All right, arms up. Here we go. Rotate right. And bring it back. Those of you that know me know what a music hound I am, and you must know how much that it's driving me crazy to not be able to play music, but I heard that if Facebook finds out that you're playing music, they will take you right off. Boom, done, over. No more Facebook Live. So I don't want that to happen. So we'll just have to, you guys can play music in the background wherever you're doing this, but I cannot. Okay, we're almost there. One more on each side. Smile, release, and bring it together. So we're inching up toward that 25% mark. We've got one more set of the balancing side crunch. So let's get it set up and keep this yoga strength class moving. Here we are. Exhale, side crunch. Inhale, reach. Just do the best you can. Maybe you're doing this practice with me and you're doing one of each of the things that we do instead of doing each one 3 times. And that's fine too. So you're listening to your body. Maybe you're modifying the movement in some way. Last one on this side to make it work for you. So we'll change our foundation. Switching sides. Second side, this is our last set of this. Here we go. Breathe out, breathe in. Exhale and inhale. Whew. Starting to get a little warm. Might have to open my patio window if it's not frozen shut. Oh my, it looks like it's snowing again. 2 more. And last one. All right, we are 25% through our practice. Let's go ahead and one more brief child pose. And we will make our way back up to standing. Do a little check-in. Oh, hi, Denny and Sheila. Oh, Sharon Anderson said she's playing Mula Mantra for music. Not exactly strength music, but it's a great CD. So awesome, Sharon. All right. So the next one we're going to do is called squat curl press. But instead of doing a traditional press, we're going to do kind of a lateral press. So I'll show you first without weights, but then I'm going to grab some. So what this one is we come into a squat, but notice I'm not swinging the weights and looking back behind me. I'm just coming down into a squat. Then I'm coming up with a bicep curl. After that, I'm going to reach up and over and up and over. I'm going to land back here and I'm going to start over again. So go ahead and grab some weights if you like. And the legs aren't super close together. You need a little bit of distance, but not too wide. And we'll start with the weights up here at our shoulders. So we're going to come down into the squat. Then we're going to rise up with the curl. We'll take the right arm and reach over, and then the left arm and reach over. We're back at the shoulders. We come down in the squat, keep looking this way, curl it up. It's right arm and left arm. We're back at shoulders. Here we go. Squat, curl, and then 2 nice lateral presses up and over. Beautiful. Let's keep this going. Take it squat. Don't swing the weights. Good. Let's do one more. can set the weights down and have a seat. So we're going to alternate this one with something that's kind of for your lower core. So why don't you stay right there and watch, and I'll show you what it's going to be. So I'm going to take myself back to the mat. I'm going to take a weight and kind of anchor it over my head and hold on to it here. Then I'm going to bring my knees so they're directly over my hips. And this is the place that I want to try and come back to each time. So I'm going to bring the knees toward the chest, and then I'm going to come back and land right here over the hips. So that's all there is to this one. Go ahead, grab a weight, come onto your back. Let's have those knees right over the hips. Now feel right here how you have to engage your core and start to press your low back into the mat. Now that's engaging your core. Keep it like that. Exhale as you bring your knees in. Inhale as you go out and away. Keep pressing the low back. Breathe out nice and slow. Breathe in. Land it here. Exhale and inhale. We're going slow and controlled with our breath. It's a lot harder to keep the movement nice and slow. So you're in control and you're keeping that low back, that lumbar spine grounded. Here we are again, grounding ourselves. Two more. And last one. Now, let's go ahead and bring the weight to our side and then just kind of hug your knees in. Maybe go ahead and rock yourself a little bit. Good, and then making your way back up, we're going to do that squat curl with the lateral reach press again. So if you'd like to find some weights, go ahead and do that. Feet are a little bit apart. The weights are going to start at shoulder height, and here we go. Let's take it into the squat. Look this way. Don't swing the weights. Curl it up. Reach over and over. Nice. From the top, back down into the squat. Curling it up and reaching across. Awesome. Just breathing naturally here. Whatever seems to feel good for you. And if you got knee issues, maybe don't take the squat quite as deep. Maybe just do a baby squat, or you call it a mini squat. So I'm working with my setup here a little bit each time. And I know if I could be in a room with better light, that probably would be better. But there's action going on downstairs in the kitchen where I think I would have some pretty good light, and we would be interrupted and I would be distracted. So that's kind of why we're up here. We're done with this set now. All right, so we're going to come back down onto our backs and we're going to work that lower abdominal region again. So let's go ahead, grab a weight to anchor down over our head. Knees are bent. Then we'll start to bring those knees over the hips. And again, let's check on, are we pressing our low back into the mat and we're keeping it there. On an out breath, we'll start to bring those knees toward us. And on the in breath, we'll take them away. So breathing out and in. Exhale and inhale. Let's keep this going. You got this. We're going to do 4 more. Last 2. Feel that core working. All right, so knees are coming to chest. We'll bring that weight over and just hug the knees in, Apanasana, rock it out a little bit. And then we'll make our way up. We've got 1 more set of the squat, curl, and then reaching laterally. All right. So we'll have those weights up at our shoulders. Here we go, coming into the squat, smile. Come on up with the curl, right arm, reach, and left. Take it again, squat, and curl, press, and reach. So we're inching up toward our 50% mark of this class. And I hope you're all doing great out there. And I hope that some of you have figured out how to go back and replay any of these workouts that you might like to repeat at some time. So if you go under photos on my webpage, right under that I think there's a video link, and you might have to double click, I don't know, I have to double click mine last time, and then all the videos should appear. All right, we are done with those. We've got 1 more set for the lower abdominals. So once again, we'll make our way to the mat. We'll take the weight and anchor it over our head. Keep our shoulders grounded. And we'll come to that knees over the hips. Here we go. Exhale, bring it in. Inhale, we're here. Exhale and inhale. Let's keep this going. So another thing we woke up to yesterday besides the snow was one of our tallest pine trees came down in between our house garage and Jim's shop, and it did land on a couple of vehicles, but one of them was kind of a big piece of machinery, so it didn't really do any harm to that. And we haven't really unburied yet, so we don't know the gist of everything, but it was a really big tree. All right, let's do 1 more of these. Again, haha, I probably lost count. Whenever I tell a story, I lose count. You guys know that. All right, let's bring those knees in, rock it out. And then we'll bring ourselves up. We're back up at standing, and we're going to give ourselves a hand because we are at 50%. Yeah, baby. So the next one is called single arm rowing. So you'll probably want to grab a weight that's a little bit heavier. And then let's walk the feet apart. Take the front leg and rotate it all the way. Take the back leg, the heel goes back about 2 inches. So it's almost like you're setting up for your warrior 2 pose. So what it really is kind of a tall, high lunge. Now, we are going to either have our hand on our thigh or we could maybe rest the forearm on the thigh. We want to have our spine nice and long, and then what we're going to be doing is drawing our elbow up to the sky and bringing it back. So we're doing a row. Here we go. Let's inhale and exhale. Row it up and down. Lift and release. So it's like my elbow is kind of reaching up toward the sky. Getting ready to start the lawnmower. That sounds better than the snowblower at this point. We did have green grass. I did have lilies and tulips coming up, daffodils coming up. Last one, and now they're all buried with snow again. All right, so we're going to switch sides. So it's the same setup, almost like you're setting up the foundation for your warrior two. The front knee is over the ankle. You're choosing your position, and here we go. Let's row it and return it. Row it and return it. Good. So some of you might have noticed I brought in one of my decorations. It's a gold frog, appropriate for spring, and he's sitting in Sukhasana in a meditative pose. This was actually a gift from one of my yoga students, Marilyn. Thank you, Marilyn. Let's do one more row on this side. All right, and we'll come up and out of that and get ready for the one that we're going to be doing with that. So we're going to have a seat again. We're going to be doing a bridge pose with a tricep kick up. So let me show you first, and then you can get set up. So I'm going to come onto my back. And then I'm going to bring the weights so they're kind of by my ears, and my elbows are pointing up toward the sky. Now, as I lift into my bridge, I'm going to extend my arms straight up. As I lower my bridge, I'm going to bring the weights back down by my ears. So basically, as we lift our hips, we extend our arms. So go ahead, bring yourself to the earth. So as we're bringing the weights kind of next to our ears, we want to think of our elbows pointing up toward the sky. So on an in-breath, let's lift our hips and do the tricep kick up. And on the exhale, come down. Now keep this going. If for some reason you'd rather just keep your hips grounded and work on the tricep kick up, that's fine. But this one is kind of a 2-for-1 because we're working the bridge and we're working the triceps. But remember to make it your practice. So whatever's feeling good for you, I'm just glad you're here. Even if you're just here for the company, just to hear my voice, I'm happy with that too. One more. Good. Let's set the weights down. Bring the knees to the chest. And maybe just even draw some circles with your knees. Go the other way. Awesome. And start to come on up. So we get to do our rowing again. Remember that you might want to use a little bit heavier weight for the rowing. Hi, Cecilia, Gail, Sandra, and Jane DeBold. Hi, Jane. Jane and I went to high school together. Yay. All right. So here we go. We're getting set up for that row again. So remember, it's kind of like you're in lunge, but you're up tall. or you're in that Warrior 2 foundation. And here we go. We're going to row it up and down, up and down. So it's kind of cool that since I've been doing these, I've had a couple other of my high school friends come on, Lori Johnson and Kelly Witt. So it's kind of fun to be reconnecting with some of my friends from high school. Let's do 2 more. And we'll switch sides. So Kelly Witt was telling me that she's actually never done yoga before and that she tried it with me and that she really liked it. So I thought that was kind of neat. I hope people are starting to try new things. Let's draw that elbow up. See what we can learn during this time. I know I'm learning more about technology and how to actually work Facebook a little better. So I went to my first ever concert with Kelly Witt, and we went with another friend, Kirsten Kromberger, and it was in Duluth, 2 more, and it was a KISS concert. And I think we were in like 8th grade, so that's a long time ago. And I will never, ever, ever forget that concert. Another friend from Park Falls was there, John Brunreiter. So, yeah, it was a good time. Let's go back down to the earth. We're going to do that bridge again with the tricep kick up. Remember, if you just want to do the triceps, just work on that part. Or some people like to just hold the bridge up in that position and do their kick-ups and not be lifting up and down. So do whatever feels good for you. Let's take it back. So remember, the weights are kind of starting by your ears and the elbows are trying to point upward. So I'm going to do the combination where I come into the bridge and do the kick up and then bring it back down. So be really careful not to bonk yourself in the head with your weights. Three more. Finishing up. All right, setting the weights down, bringing the knees to the chest, and again, maybe drawing some circles up on the ceiling. And go the other way. Good, and coming up, we've got 1 more set of rowing and 1 more set of the bridge, and we'll be at our 75% mark. So I'm going to grab a weight for the rowing. I'm going to set my foundation. Front knee is bent, it's right over the ankle. Here we go, rowing the elbow up to the sky and return. Up and down. I like to breathe in and out. So keep this going. Speaking of high school friends, I think next year we might have a reunion coming up. 1 more. Don't really remember what number that would be. Haha, or I just don't want to say it. Let's set up for the second side. Oh, there goes my landline. Sorry about that. Here we go. So we live kind of in what I would call the Bermuda Triangle in Merrill, because our cell reception is not the greatest. It's my mom calling, and my dog's howling downstairs. And so we have to keep a landline in case of emergencies because our cell reception is so sketchy. Let's do one more. Good. And we're done with that. Let's have a seat and get ready for the bridge with the tricep kick up. We're this close to our 75% mark. Let's take it back. The weights are right next to our ears, the elbows are pointing up, and our feet are firmly grounded. Here we go. Let's take it up and down. So my mom's leaving a super long message. She's still talking. So blessed that I still have my mom. She is 76 and she lives in Arbor Vitae, which is just north of Minocqua. And we usually talk every day. I probably should have called her before I started this, but that's okay. It was good to hear her voice in the background. Let's do two more. All right, setting the weights down, bringing the bridge down. One more time, knees to chest, and just drawing some nice circles, giving yourself a little massage. Go the other way. All right, so I think we're going to stay grounded for our last set of two different exercises. And we're starting with V-ups. Now, this one, you're going to be resting on your hip. So sometimes students like to kind of roll their mat up so they have a little extra cushion, or maybe pull a blanket in. So if you think that you might be a candidate for that, you can kind of get set up for that. So let me show you the foundation. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be resting with legs out. Actually, I went down a little too far. We're going to be resting on the elbow and forearm. And the legs are kind of extended at a diagonal. So they're not lining up with my torso. They're jutting out in front a bit, if you can see that. Now, some people have balance issues with the V-up, so they like to keep their hand in front for balance. So let me just show you one. It's up, up, down, down. Now, if you don't feel like you have to have the balance, you could have your hand on your hip, or you could just kind of rest your fingertips behind your ear. So this is going to be my position, and all you have to do is lift one up, and then the other, down and down. So go ahead, give it a try. My right hip is making a funny clunking noise each time I bring it down, not on the way up, but right there on the way down. Don't know why, it's always done it. How are we doing with these V-ups? You're loving them, aren't ya? Just do the best you can. One more on this first side. Because guess what? This is another one of those exercises where we gotta flip it over. So if your hip was getting a little sore, go ahead and grab a blanket or prop up your mat, roll it up, make it a little cushier, a little thicker. We're on our elbow and forearm. Our legs are a little bit at a diagonal out in front. We either have our hand in front, on our hip, or back behind the ear. Here we go. Lift, lift, lower, lower, up, up, down, down. Awesome. So if you wanted to make this a little more challenging, you keep doing your up, up, down, downs, but you could do both at the same time. This one's a little bit harder. Let's do one more. I probably did too many on this side, right, if you were counting? All right, good. So, the next one we're going to do with that one is for our hamstrings and our glutes. So we're going to be doing one that I call doggy to donkey. So let me show you it first. We're on our knees, we're on our elbows and forearms, and we want to let our head and neck be kind of released and relaxed. I'm going to start and isolate on one side. So what it's going to be is we're going to be pressing our heel up to the sky and then bringing our knee back down toward the mat. Oops, sorry. First I want to do the doggy part. Back up, rewind. First we're going to lift the leg to the side, that's the doggy. Then we're going to bring it down. Then we're going to push the heel up and knee back down. So it'll be leg to the side, that's like doggy at the fire hydrant. We bring the knee down, then we take the heel up, and then we bring the knee down. So we got it now. Doggy, fire hydrant, donkey kick to the sky. Here we go. Taking the leg to the side and down, heel up and down, side and down, kick up and down, doggy and donkey kick. Keep it going. Head and neck is released and relaxed. One more. Awesome. Let's bring that leg down. We're going to switch sides. Head and neck released. We'll lift the opposite leg to the side and lower. Then we'll press the heel up and down. Side and lower. Press and down. Keep it going, alternating between those two moves. This is also really great for our hip flexibility. Last one. And lower. How about a pose of the child? Go ahead, sit back. And coming up. So we're going back to those V-ups. So remember, setting your foundation for this one, elbow and forearm. We're resting on our side body, kind of on the hip. The legs are at kind of a diagonal out front. Hand is either here, here, or here. Here we go. Up, up, down, down. So work this at your own pace. I'm going to play with lifting both legs, but you can keep doing the single up, single downs. Let's do one more. Nice job, switching sides. So I'm wondering what everybody's up to on this Tuesday. kind of projects you're working on, what you got going on at your home. If you feel like sending me a message or an email or something, go ahead. Remember any one of those positions for that opposite arm. Here we go. Up, up, down, down. I was super excited when the snow was all gone and I was doing stuff putzing around out in the yard, but hopefully this will melt quickly. I'm going to do a few with double legs. Stay doing whatever you like. Last one. Awesome. So we're going to go back to that doggy donkey. First you're in table and then you're taking it down to those elbows and forearms. You're letting the head and neck be in a released, relaxed position. And we'll start isolating with one leg, lifting it to the side and down, pressing up and down. So open and lower, press up and lower. You got it. Two to go. Last one. Nice. Let's go ahead and get to side two. Head, neck released. It's a lift and a lower. Heel pressing up and knee coming down. Side, lower, press, and down. Lift, lower, press, and down. Last two. Finishing up. Woo! All right. Pose of the child. All right. So here's my story. We've got one more set of V-ups. We've got one more set of doggy donkey, and then we'll stretch out. So we're almost to that 100% mark. Getting ready for the last set of V-ups. Here we go. So it's either up, up, down, down, or bringing them both up at the same time and both down. So pick whichever one you like. We'll do 3 more. Then we'll switch sides. All right, let's flip it on over. Up, up, down, down. So again, you can be doing the single up, up, down, downs, or you can be putting it together. Can even hold a weight in between your ankles if you really wanted to get a little more. Two more. Last one. All right, we're done with V-ups. I bet some of you are happy. One more set of doggy to donkey. Bringing it down, Remember, you're not looking forward on this one. You're letting the head just hang. We're on the home stretch here, people. Let's lift the leg to the side. There's our doggy. And up to the sky for our donkey. Keep it going. Side and up to the sky. So yesterday, my big accomplishment for the day was I got all my tax stuff put together for my good friend Jennifer, who's my accountant as well. And that was a pretty good feeling to get all that ready for her. One more on this side. Although, even though tomorrow's the 15th, which would be our normal tax end cutoff, everybody knows we have till July 15th, so I was really in no hurry, but it felt good to cross that one off the list. So let's go ahead, pick up our second side, lifting the leg to the side, and then pressing the heel up. So being self-employed, I have to pay in, so I'm in no rush right now to go ahead and send this one off, especially with money and finances being a little tighter right now. I kind of want to conserve that money and see how things happen with our lives here. We are almost there. How about one more doggy? One more doggy. And pose of the child. We are now 100%. Woo. Take a couple breaths. Maybe grab a drink of water. Go ahead, come on up, have a seat. We did it. So let's just kind of stretch things out now. You can come to seated pose or any pose that's comfortable for your being. All right, so we're going to start by bringing an arm up, bending the elbow, reaching back with the other hand, and doing your best to work the fingertips toward each other. So we're just kind of stretching out our shoulders here, letting the chin tuck down, taking a few deep breaths. Good, and then let that go and open things up nice and wide. And come in for a hug. Now those fingertips are kind of reaching back together toward behind you. Good, and open that up. Then take the opposite arm up behind, and again, reaching fingertips toward each other. They call this one cow face arms. It's also a popular stretch used to see where shoulder flexibility is at when they do like physical fitness testing. Again, let's go ahead, open wide, and come on in, and let that go. Beautiful. Let's take our right hand and arm, come through the front, rotating over to that left side. Sitting tall, letting your shoulders relax. Good, go ahead, come on back to front. We'll take that left arm across, reach for that opposite knee, rotating to the right. We're sitting tall again. Take a few breaths. to the front. Nice. So from here, let's extend our right leg open. We'll keep this left one bent. Kind of adjust and find your sits bones. And we'll do a little lateral stretch. So we'll bring our left arm up and then maybe start to stretch kind of over, lengthening. And then bringing that home. Good. Now let's rotate and actually face the right leg. Adjusting your sits bones. And then gently just coming forward over that leg. Take some deep full breaths. Feel yourself rooting deeply into the earth. Staying grounded, centered, and present. Go ahead, come on back. Let's stay in this position for one more stretch. So on the next one, we'll start to come forward. Try and anchor through your sits bones back behind you. And come on up. All right, now we'll switch those legs. We're starting with the lateral stretch. So we'll bring that right arm up to the top, and then we'll start to come over. Again, lengthen and breathe. I hope that this cold spell doesn't last too long. We need to melt this snow away. Let's come back. We'll rotate to face the left leg. So again, you're kind of adjusting. And then we're coming toward that leg. Oh, this side's a little tighter for me. Right where my hamstring and glutes connect. Feeling a little bit of a tug there, but in a good way. And coming up from that, coming back to facing the front. Last stretch in this position is bringing yourself forward. Take a few deep breaths. Reach that tailbone back to the floor behind you. Slowly make your way up from that. Good. Let's bring both feet apart with our knees bent. And instead of coming onto our backs, we'll just do a little bit of windshield wiping here. So we'll allow our legs to release over to the right, and we'll rotate that way. And then we'll come all the way through the middle, and we'll let the legs release the other way. And just go ahead on your own and kind of go back and forth from side to side. And then we'll land back at center, coming into Baddha Konasana, bringing the bottoms of the feet together. The kids like to call this one the butterfly, right? Woo! So go ahead and come into the inner thigh, groin area. Tuck your belly in. Take a couple breaths here. And then we'll close that up. And I'll come in A little closer. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed our strength class together. I know even though I can't see you, it was fun for me to teach the class. It looks like a few more people joined since my last trip up here. Oh, John Sample. Hi, John. Carrie, excellent. Carol Burnt, Connie, and Tammy. Hi, Tammy. So, anyway, I hope that this helped make your day a little brighter, a little sunnier. And let's remember to keep practicing self-care, being kinder than is necessary to you and yours. And also remember that fear can't survive in the present moment. So if you stay present and stay grounded and try not to think about the future right now, just stay grounded in the here and the now and the present moment. It'll help us get through these days a little bit easier. The last thing I'd like to say is as you're watching TV or you're on the internet or Facebook or whatever, beware because a lot of what's out there right now is not fact, it's fear. So I'm doing my best to try to not watch the news and maybe check in once a day with like what's happening in Wisconsin or in the world from a reliable source like the CDC. Because otherwise, I find myself going into all those emotions of anger and sadness and fear and whatever. And I don't need to be there right now. I want to stay present and grounded, and let's keep hope. We're in this together. I miss everyone. Sending you all lots of love and lots of light. Namaste. Blowing you kisses. Be well. Bye-bye.